business owners and executives from around the Valley. This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Good morning and welcome to Business Leaders right here at KMPH Fox 26. My name is Lance Cardoza and I'd like to thank our sponsor, Flooring Liquidators, for all their support bringing you Business Leaders Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. If you'd like to catch this episode and past episodes, go to businessleaders.tv or scan the QR code on the screen. This week on Business Leaders, I have Cookie.
Yes.
Correct? And Cookie, what is your last name? I'm sorry.
It's Shriver.
We were just talking and not even thinking about it. I was so
one.
excited about your business, but Cookie Shriver with Kaynine Safes. And I like to keep my show very light and aired out to where it's just us sitting down and having a cup of coffee. And I have to point out,
Yes.
when you talk about a cup of coffee, can I show your cup?
Yes, of course.
But when I saw your cup, this beautiful cup and the decals on this thing's gorgeous, but it's sort of in line with what you do on a day-to-day basis with custom safes.
Yes.
And protecting your valuables in your home, your office, or what it is. Tell me about Kaynine Safes.
So Kaynine Safes has been around town for quite some time, since the early 80s. And I've been doing it safe specifically for about 12 years now. What we do is we build all of our safes from scratch. So you're able to customize your size, your colors. You can add pinstriping, which we use local guys, that do a lot of the hot rods and stuff here.
Yeah.
With gold leafing, kind of the sky's the limit. And you can customize your interiors as well.
Exactly what you envision you can create, or
Yes.
you could create something and curate it for the client as well,
Yes.
correct? You see that happen a lot of times?
I do. Sometimes you give people a lot of options, and then
Yeah.
it's hard to kind of narrow down.
Yeah.
So we kind of like steer them in the right direction, color-wise, or the configurations inside. What's good? You tell me what you want to put in there, and I'll tell you what I think would be, best suit you.
The best suit you. And so with Kaynine Safes, when you were a little girl and you grew up in Sanger, California, correct?
Yes.
Did you see yourself in this business?
I did not. I saw myself in probably something with metal. I grew up in a machine shop. That's what my family basically did. Different types of, they built packaging machinery, but safes wasn't necessarily where I saw myself going, but I went to Long Beach State and I majored in metal art there. So from there, we did a lot of jewelry, stuff like that, but I knew a lot about metal. This opportunity presented itself, and it was like, well, I can make the safes, and I can also make them attractive.
Yeah.
Because just because it's a metal box doesn't mean it has to be, ugly.
A
per
metal
se.
box, yeah. And a lot of times too is you want a metal box to fit in a round hole, and
Right.
it's a square box, or you want a round box to fit in a square hole.
Yeah.
You custom it for that space.
Right, yeah. So like if it's going to have to go in your living room, right? Maybe your wife doesn't want you to put something that's not attractive, right smack dab in the middle of your area.
Yeah.
So we can make it match her color, her walls, or going in your man cave. We can do whatever colors you have there. And we can just do standard stuff too. Some people hide them, so you don't really care what it looks like at that point.
Exactly. You just want it to be functional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so how you've said the business been around since 1980.
1981.
81. So been around for a long time.
Yes,
So, and tell me about the business. What excites you the most when you have a client that has something they want that you see that is just extravagant? What excites you when you get into one of those?
I love the custom stuff because it's, people come in and they're like, well, I want this to go under my bed, and I have this kind of idea where it pulls out. And so I like that challenge. And I love seeing, obviously, the end, result is like kind of like I didn't know how this was going to go.
Yeah.
They always come out good, but like a lot of times they come out much heavier than we anticipated, and that's kind of what we're known for. We use very thick steel.
Yeah.
You have to think about installing it too, because that's a big part of it. I can build you whatever you want, but how are we going to get it there?
A lot of times you'll build the house around the safe, or vice versa. How do you get it into an existing space?
Right.
Yeah. So logistics on all that stuff.
Yes. So can we turn that corner? Is it, we're definitely not going upstairs if it's super heavy. There's,
Kaynine Safes, you probably have seen all that, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of clients lean on you and come to you for those type of services, because you've been there, you've done that.
Right.
You've probably seen every challenge possible in a home, office, or whatever it is.
Yes.
So talk to me about some of those things that as you were building this company as an entrepreneur and putting this together, what were some of the challenges in figuring out this business? Metal was what you loved and you wanted to work in that. Family have done that, but you started this business. What were some of those challenges in the beginning?
Yeah, it was a lot of, the industry is large, and there are all different types of safes. So you have the safes you get at the big box stores, and then you have, just a handful of real American-made safes, and that's pretty much what we pride ourselves on, is, being made here in Fresno. Yeah. So you have to separate yourself, find a way to separate yourself from all of the other ones that are claiming to be American-made and maybe aren't, or, we do have the luxury of being able to, again, customize it, and 90% of the safes on the market are not customizable. But we're the smaller guy. So it's kind of, how do you compete with someone who's got a much bigger platform? It's word of mouth, and my customers, they always come back to me, they send people to me, so that's been...
And we're right here in the Central Valley with a business that is doing this type of work. A lot of times, like you said, you're one of the smaller. There's big companies out there that are all over doing this, but we have a custom safe builder with Kaynine Safes right here in the valley. And come right to you guys. How do people find you at Kaynine Safes?
So we have social media, just Kaynine Safes, Facebook and Instagram. We have a website where you can cruise around. The best part or way to design a safe is to come down and talk to me. I feel like you kind of can get an idea of what you like there. And then we just have a shop on Jensen and 99. So that's where we build them. That's where my showroom is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they can come in and sketch it out, design what they're thinking about, and put that together. And so when you grew up, like you said, you weren't sure what that was going to be.
Right.
As an entrepreneur, not everybody just steps right out of school and says, I'm going to start my own business.
Right.
Who was that in your life that gave you that extra oomph that said you can do this?
Yeah, I come from a line of farmers from Sanger, and then my father had his own machine shop too, and so I kind of always thought I would maybe work for myself. That would probably be best for my personality, maybe.
You always wanted to create, and
and kind of it literally just gave me the best of both worlds, because I was able to use my creative side, but also I had a platform that was, the safes they're a metal box at the end of the day, so a lot of times people will improve upon the design, and I think that less is more, actually.
Awesome. So I'm sitting here with Cookie Shriver here on Business Leaders, and we're talking about Kaynine Safes. There's more to talk about Kaynine Safes, and also some more areas of business that they do when we return right here on Business Leaders, and we'll talk about growing up in Sanger.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Business Leaders here at KMPH Fox 26. It's that time of the year where we start calling for nominations for the 40 Under 40. That's right, the new class of 40 Under 40, class of 2022, are ready for nominations. So you go to 40, the letter U, 40.com, and put your nomination in for the 40 Under 40. Here on Business Leaders, Cookie Shriver's here, and we're talking about Kaynine Safes. Growing up in Sanger and talking about your love for metal. Your father had a metal shop. And tell me a little bit about your father. As a young girl, did you run around the shop and
oh yeah.
You probably did all the jobs in the shop that didn't want to do.
Learn how to ride a bike. I mean, even though that's the right place to learn how to ride a bike, but as good as anywhere, right? So I grew up all around metal, and I'm the little gal who's in the back of the flatbed, in the white dress before I'm supposed to go to pictures. My mom's pretty upset about that still to this day, but it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I've always enjoyed that atmosphere, working on things. Working
that and seeing him create and fix things.
There's really nothing cooler than seeing the end results, from start to finish. So
welding. That's probably something that you took on to and really liked to see doing.
Yeah, I did a lot of welding in college. away from Dad's shop because he didn't necessarily want me welding there. Right?
Yeah.
But that's where I learned most of it. And so I can weld. I have a cool helmet, but you know, I kind of leave that to the guys.
Leave the guys
nowadays.
Now. Yeah. Well, when you're going to school, when you came back from that, was your dad surprised how much you've learned? That
He was.
Yeah, I was going to say it probably warmed his heart a little bit.
Yeah, I've always kind of been, you know, the more hands-on out of like the siblings. Like, you know, if you wanted me to put something together, I'm happy to do it. It just kind of comes naturally to me. So, you know, learning about the safes and learning about all the locks and how it works. I mean, it's super important, obviously, when you're locked out of your safe. Was something that took a long time to master. But, you know, I'll show up to your house to change your lock out, and people are like, oh.
Yeah.
You know, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Did you hear that? Yeah. Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
I do. I teach the other guys, you know, so it's been cool,
awesome.
and I take pride in that.
That's awesome. The talk to me, because I'm sure with safes, there's a lot of options these days for the way it's not the old just dial, from fingerprints to codes or whatever. Talk to me about some of the exciting stuff, especially with Kaynine Safes, that you offer to your clients. Yeah,
so we can do. You know, I think I touched a little bit like on our design. We keep that very simple, the inner workings of the door. But you know, you can do biometric locks. You can do some that are mechanical and then digital. So it's a backup feature. There's, I mean, kind of the sky's the limit. And I like to vet the locks out because, again, on some of these safes that are, you know, the price points are lower, the locks are going to be not as, you know, up to par. A lot of times you'll get locked out of the safe completely, and then you're spending more money to drill it open than you did on the safe. You know, so it's very important when you're shopping around to make sure you have good locking mechanisms. Number one. And with
Kaynine Safes, you've seen those issues, and you know what works and what you should steer away from, and you can help them through that.
Yeah, so we can, you know, upgrade the looks of the safe. We can do the interiors with different finishes and all of that. But the guts of it, I like to keep, you know, simple because we know what works and what doesn't work. And if someone calls me and, you know, the door doesn't open, it's one of two things. It's not one of five. Right?
Exactly. They watch 007, James Bond, have this thing, and they're dreaming up some crazy contraption, and you have to bring them to reality a little bit. Keep it safe for themselves.
So we want to make sure it works at the end of the day.
Exactly. In doing that, do you hear where people are thinking about it as a safe place to go to in home invasion or anything like that? Big safes. Have you seen that in a lot of cases? Yeah, so a popular thing we're doing and we have been doing is vault doors. And you can add a vault door to really any room. You can add it to your walk-in closet. And then you no longer have to put your purses away in a safe. You know, your closet is your safe room. It becomes a panic room. We have a feature on the door that is a slider. So basically if you went in the room and you slid it across, even if someone had the code from the outside, the door would not open. It's not opening until you let yourself out. Got it.
So it totally just creates a safe space for your family, for your children. And you know, their price points on those are reasonable if you compare it to getting a very large safe that you're going to have to put in your garage or maybe not exactly where you want it.
You have to custom the spot to be able to put it. This way you can create a room as that panic room and do that, because you hear about more and more, and especially celebrities that have had home invasions. And if you had a safe room where you could go, a lot of people think if you do a big safe, you don't have oxygen in there, and if I'm in there too long, and what if the safe doesn't unlock? You know, it's like, but if you're in a room, you're pretty safe.
And you can have your stuff set up the way you want it. You know, so. We can do pull-out shelving in a safe for your jewelry or purses or things like that. But if you have a really nice closet, you might just want to add the door to it, you know, and we can create the door to match your interior design. So it's not just some metal door, you know, kind of like a sore thumb. I think it's the best of both worlds.
That's really, pretty cool. I see that I work in the entertainment industry, so tour buses have the pocket door, you know, and it's a pretty tough door. That if somebody wanted to try to get through it, they're not going to get through it. And that separates driver's quarters area to the back of the bus. So pretty impressive stuff. Sounds exciting. When we come back, I want to talk about, we got to take a short break.
Okay.
Come back, I want to talk about SafeGal.
Okay.
That's another division of Kaynine Safes, and
Yes.
we'll talk about that when we come back with Cookie Shriver. You've been joining us here on Business Leaders, and I want to remind everybody, if you want to catch this episode with Cookie and Kaynine Safes, I almost want to call you guys because the panic room sounds exciting, and also to be able to have a safe for your valuables and be able to put that together. It's custom, and it's right here in the Valley. Yes. You're right here in Fresno, so you'll be able to call Cookie. And go to businessleaders.tv, and we'll have the information there, and you can catch this episode and other episodes right here from KMPH Fox 26. Don't go away. We have more to come, and make sure you put in those 40 under 40 nominations. Go to 40, the letter U, 40.com. We'll be right back. More Business Leaders with Cookie and Kaynine Safes. Don't go away. Welcome back to Business Leaders here at KMPH Fox 26. Lance Cardoza reminding you one more time, it's time for the 40 under 40. If you have somebody that you believe needs to be recognized here in the Central Valley, go to 40, the letter U, 40.com. All they have to be is under the age of 40 in the year of 2022. A 250-word description by going to the website 40, the letter U, 40.com. And Business Leader Media Group, Business Street Media Group, will be putting out the 40 under 40 in December of 22. Cookie Shriver, thank you for being on my program and talking about Kaynine Safes. This is exciting stuff. It's a fun business that people don't think about.
Right, yeah.
You know, and it's a need a lot of people need, and more, especially panic rooms and everything else, and protecting your valuables in this day and age is very, very important.
Right.
So thank you for sharing that information, and we'll tell people towards the end of the program how they can get a hold of you again. But also SafeGal. I called it SafeGirl, but it's SafeGal.
Yes.
Talk to me about that division of the company.
So it's a newer division. What I've seen being in this industry for a long time now has been, it is geared towards mostly guns and ammunition and things like that, which, obviously we make those safes. But what I think the industry has been missing is the jewelry, just heirlooms, things like that. And again, the vault doors that are created to look nice in your room. So what the SafeGal does is more of the residential. We'll come in and we can work with your contractor, if you want to add the door to something, or if you want the safe to be hidden within your cabinetry, things like that. And it will focus more on straight shelving as opposed to set up for rifle racks and things like that.
Got it. And do you see, you were talking about man caves.
Yes.
Do you see where there's a secret room in a house?
Oh yeah.
Or a lot of those,
Yeah,
and
it's
man
fun.
caves, fun stuff like that.
We built a door that was like shorter, because what he did is went underneath his stairs. There was a bunch of space there that was unused, We do a lot of cool jobs, and unfortunately we don't get to put online.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you don't want to tell you where that secret door is.
But there's some really neat things and options out there. So I can come out to your house and be like, yeah, this is a good spot for it. Or, you know what? For what you want this for, it's not convenient to have it in the garage. Let's bring it inside. Or, so I'm really just going to work with that. And then we do cash drops. So we can build you a cash drop for your restaurant, your business. We can put a vault door in your business. So that's what the SafeGal will. And
explain that a little more. So if you're a business person out there, that it's a cash drop where you can secure nightly cash.
Yes.
Yeah, for pickup for the next day. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we have some popular restaurants here, and you can make them so they have a top portion and a bottom portion are completely separate. So your employees drop the money in the top portion. Only you have access to that, but they have access to the bottom for their cash for the day. And you can track there's locks where you can track who's coming in and out and things like that. So
beautiful. So a lot of services that you offer at Kaynine. It's kind of safe. And then how did the name Kaynine Safes? How did that come along?
We were actually we do work with law enforcement, and we had a canine dog with us one day following a move And
Yeah.
so
That's what did
it kind of, yeah, it just kind of popped in my head, and it worked. We were able to trademark it and move on. And
Well, like you said, a lot of people see safes as a protect your ammo and your guns, and a lot of them were officers probably
Yes,
at home
yeah.
with children and families, and they wanted to protect that. But in today's day and age, like I said, there's a lot of your valuables and home invasion or break-in, and we think when we hope that it's not going to be you or us,
Right.
but you never know. You never know. So you take those precautions and those measures and protect those valuables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst thing you want, we love our law enforcement, but the people, just general people, like you just said, have a lot of things you want to protect, and maybe it's not valuable to anybody but you.
Yeah.
But you can leave and go on vacation and know that you've put it away and that it's in a safe spot, and you're buying something that is local, so I can service it for you.
Yep. I know a fan, he's a big Grizzlies fan, but I know he has a baseball collection and a sports memorabilia in a room that's probably worth 10 times the price of the house.
Right.
Just in one room of just things that are important to him, but also have true big value.
Right.
And this would be perfect for a room like that you could set up sort of like at your man cave, at your collectibles room, and be able to keep that stuff in there safe.
Right.
Yeah. So when you're away, you don't have to worry about
Someone
hiring somebody
else.
to sit there
Yeah.
in that house to make sure
Right.
and trust that person you've put there in that house as
Right.
well. So it'd be great to put a deal. So if someone is thinking about a custom, or they're sitting here watching this program on Business Leaders going, I need to talk to Cookie, I need to do that. The first thing they should do is do what?
Well, the first thing, if you want to kind of do some research, go to the website. You can go to thesafegal.com, or you can go to Kayninesafes.com, or you can just give us a call. I don't know if the number is 559-266-4844. You can reach me there. And then, you can just come down. I'm easily accessible.
Great showroom, so you show a lot of the options
I do.
what you put together?
Yeah, we have a lot that come and go because a lot of it is custom.
Yeah.
I do have some on the floor for you to view, but 9 times out of 10, someone wants to change something.
Yeah.
Whether it's an inch here or the color or the shelf configuration. So I tend to just go per customer.
Yeah.
It takes about 6 to 8 weeks for a general safe to be built.
Okay.
Now, if you do something kind of more extreme that takes
Yeah.
some more engineering, then
Yeah.
we kind of go from there. But
The process has come down and let those creative juices flow, because I
Yeah.
think they'll probably see something that they might want to add or they never even thought was an option.
Right.
And Cookie can provide that for you and be able to put a design together for you.
Yep.
So perfect. Give that website one more time as we wrap up the program so people know where to go find you.
Kayninesafes.com.
Kayninesafes.com. Cookie, thank you for being on my
thank
program.
you.
I appreciate it. What a fun business, and it's right here in the Valley. Kaynine Safes and also SafeGal. You can go to either of those websites and be able to get more information and go down and see Cookie. Tell her that Business Leader sent you, and we'll go by and take a look at your future safe. That's all the time we have. Next Tuesday, we'll see you.